What's up, folks? The Sportsbook Killa, UFC Vegas 94. But before we get into it, I want to touch on UFC Fight Night Denver. That was one tough fight card. We had a lot of surprises in that one. Some fighters performed, some fighters didn't perform. Christian Rodriguez hurt me as a pick a little bit. But I tell you who really did bring me through was Rose Namajunas. She won her fight and hit all three overs. She hit all the overs, actually, because the fight went the distance. Jasmine Jasuda Vicious did the exact same thing. She beat Fatima Klein and hit the overs. So we did pretty good. I did pretty good. I'm used to doing better. My strong prop bets were like 75% accurate, and my parlays that I gave 4 parlays that I was doing, and I hit 2. I was 2 of 2 for them, so I was 50% at that. Got to do better on that one. But let's put that fight card behind us. I hope everybody was able to keep their head above water and didn't get beat up too bad in that one, because there were a few surprises. And let me get the UFC Vegas 94. We're going to start with the main event, the strawweights. Amanda Lemos going up against Verna Handiroba. This should be a really good fight. Amanda Lemos, I like her striking, but her ground game is weak. She's a hard puncher, but her takedown defense is weak. She has really good cardio, though, but she doesn't fight well off her back. And Handiroba is a grappling specialist. She's a jiu-jitsu black belt. She has very good takedowns. She has a phenomenal ground game. Her boxing isn't as strong as Lemos, but the question is, will the striking kind of balance out once Lemos has been taken down and kind of starts to fatigue a little bit? This is a 5-rounder. I'm going to be leaning Handiroba on this one. I think she gets the takedowns because she never stops going for takedowns. She constantly is looking for takedowns and submissions. So I'm going to lean Handiroba on this one. I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop. I'm going to take the over 2.5 round prop. And I'm going to toss just a teeny bit on the over 3.5 round prop just in case this fight goes near a decision. Next fight, we got the middleweights. Brad Tavares going up against Jun Young Park. This is going to be a tough fight to pick. Brad Tavares has really good boxing, and he has strong leg kicks, and he has really good takedown defense. So I can't see Jun Young Park being able to just take him down and dominate him on the ground. Brad Tavares is pretty good at that not happening. And I don't see Jun Young Park's striking being super great. He has good leg kicks, but his ground game isn't super strong. So I just can't see a path that way. The question is whether Brad Tavares is going to really bring his A game and fight. If I was assured that he would do so, I would take this upset all day. But I just don't know how Brad Tavares is going to fight. So with this one, I'm just going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the 2nd round and that the fight starts the 3rd round. I'll do those 2 props. I may even toss a little bit something on the fight going the distance because I can see that happening. But I can't go heavy on either one of these guys. They both disappointed me in the past, and I just can't rock with them. So good luck with you guys selecting that fight. But I'll stay off of that one and just take the overs. Next fight, we got the featherweights. Steve Garcia is going up against Singwoo Choi. Now, I love my Steve Garcia. That guy can punch. He has KO power. He strikes so many different ways. His boxing defense needs some work, though, because he has been slept. But if he's still training at Jackson Wink, which I believe he is, they'll have his striking on point. They should have his striking on point, rather. And he has knockout power. If he lands, you sleep. So I like Steve Garcia. Singwoo Choi has good boxing. He's a hard puncher too, but his grappling's rather weak. So the only problem, I think if you take Garcia, the only thing you have to worry about is him leaving himself open and getting caught with something. Because if Singwoo Choi catches him, he can put Garcia to sleep too. But I got to go with Garcia on this one. He's the harder puncher. He's a KO power puncher, so I got to go with Garcia on this one. And I'm going to even toss something on the under 2.5 round prop on this one. Okay, next fight. We got the lightweights. Kurt Holobaugh going up against Kenan Khrushchevsky. This is interesting. I'm leaning Kenan Khrushchevsky. I like his striking. But let me first get you to Holobaugh. He has good boxing. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He has weak takedown defense, and his ground game isn't as strong as I would want it to bet on somebody. I need his ground game a little bit stronger to be a jiu-jitsu black belt. Now, Kanan Krzyzewski is a jiu-jitsu black belt also. He has a good ground game. He has KO power to go with it, though. He's a versatile striker with very strong leg kicks, and he has some serious dynamite in his fist. He can hit. So I'm going to lean Kanan Krzyzewski in this one. I am. I'm not going to mess with the over-under in this one because this one could end any time. I don't know. It can end by submission. It could also end by KO. I'm going to roll Krzyzewski on this one, though. Next fight, we got the featherweights. Doo Ho Choi going up against Bill Algeo. Doo Ho Choi, his last fight was a draw. His previous 3 fights were losses. He's a hard puncher. He has good leg kicks, but his chin's rather weak. Bill Algeo, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, pressure fighter, versatile striker. He switches stances often. He has good takedown defense, and he's a very hard puncher. Bill Algeo, his last outing, he got KO'd by Kyle Nelson pretty much before the fight even got started almost. So I got to give my guy Bill Algeo another shot to redeem himself because he hurt me in that one. I had him picked to win, and he got KO'd so quickly. So I got to go with Bill Algeo on this one and give him a chance to redeem himself. And I'm also going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. Next fight, we got the flyweights, Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. Now, this is going to be a treat. I can't wait to see how this fight goes because I have no idea how it's going to go. Can Cody Durden get the takedowns? Because Cody Durden, I'll give you some ballistics on him. He's a jiu-jitsu blue belt. He has phenomenal wrestling. He's a pressure fighter. He has an incredible ground game, really good ground game. He has good ground control. He gets you down. He can hold you down. And he has really good takedowns. Bruno Silva, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He has KO power, and he throws very strong leg kicks. His striking's great, and he has great takedown defense, and he can wrestle as well. He's trained, I believe he used to train with Cejudo, so this is not going to be just a walk in the park for Cody Durden, and I don't think it's going to be easy for Silva either. So I'm just going to watch and enjoy this fight, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. But I don't know. I can't even pick this one, y'all. I don't want nobody mad at me for making the wrong decision. I feel like any decision I make could be a bad one in this fight. So I'm just going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. And you guys can pick who you want on this one. The next fight, we got the featherweights. Jong Young Lee going up against Haider Amil. Jong Young Lee is a jiu-jitsu black belt, hard puncher, great takedown defense, great takedowns, and really good cardio. Haider Amil, jiu-jitsu purple belt. Not so good ground game, kind of weak ground game. He has weak takedown defense as well, but he is a hard puncher. He's undefeated. I'm going to be rolling with the 11-1 record of Jong Young Lee. Yeah, and this will be one of my stronger picks. I like the way this guy fights. I do. I like the way he can punch, he can box, he stalks his prey, and I like the way he can take his fighters, his opponents down. He does a really good job taking his opponents down, and he got moves on the ground, real good moves. So I'm going to take Jong Young Lee to win, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. Next fight, we got the bantamweights, Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. This is a fight that I could care less who wins. I don't want to bet on it. I don't even want to watch it. But I will take the prop bet that the fight will start the second round and that the fight will start the third round. That's the best I could do for you on this. I've watched these guys fight over and over and over, and I don't care who wins, have no clue who's going to win, have no clue who's going to show up. It should be I can't see the fight being interesting. Brian Kelleher is on a 3-fight losing streak, and Cody Gibson has never really impressed me as a fighter. So I'll just take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round and the third round, and I guess you guys can flip a coin for that one. I'm not going to mess with that one. The next fight, we got the flyweights, Miranda Mavericks going up against Dion Barbosa. Interesting fight. I'm going to go with Miranda Maverick, but let me give you some news on her. Miranda Maverick is a jiu-jitsu brown belt. She has really good boxing. She boxes out of the southpaw stance. She has really good body kicks, and she's on a 2-fight win streak. Dion Barbosa, she's a judo black belt. She's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. She has very good takedowns, and she's a versatile striker. Her cardio's just rather weak. So I'll be taking Miranda Maverick to win this because I think with her striking and the way that she can get takedowns as well, I don't know if she'll go for takedowns against Barbosa, but Miranda Maverick should be able to use her wrestling on the ground if it goes to the ground to balance off the jiu-jitsu of Barbosa, because Barbosa does go for submissions and she goes for them fast. She doesn't just lay on her back and let you maintain top control. She will throw up submissions at you and keep trying for arm bars and triangles and whatever she has to do to either reverse the position or get a submission. So it's not going to be a walk in the park for Miranda Maverick. I see she's at minus 230. But I do think that she will win because she's the more seasoned UFC veteran. She's beat good UFC caliber competition. Dion Barbosa has not. So I'm going with Miranda Maverick. And I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. And I'll throw a little something on the fight starting the third round. Next fight, we got Loic Ratzabov going up against Trey Ogden. These are the lightweight men's division. Loic Ratzabov, he's a hard puncher. He has good takedowns. He has good wrestling. His boxing is really weak, though. He leaves himself open to a lot of power shots. Trey Ogden is a jiu-jitsu black belt. His takedowns are weak, but he's a very versatile striker. He has good boxing, and his ground game's good. So with this one, I'm going to take a chance on the upset and take Trey Ogden. I really am. I think his striking will be good. I think Ratzabov is not that good even when he takes someone down. You know, when he took down Ribovich kept getting right back up, so threatening a Kimura and getting right back up. So Trey Ogden is way more lethal on the ground, in my opinion, than Ribovich. So Esteban Ribovich. So I think Trey Ogden is the better fighter off his back when it comes down to when you're comparing Ogden to Ribovich. So if Ratzabov does get it to the ground, I can't necessarily say he'll dominate Trey Ogden on the ground. So I'm going to take the upset here and take a chance on Trey Ogden. I won't go heavy on him, but I'm going to take a chance on him. And I'm going to also take the over 1.5 round prop, and I'm going to take the fight starts the third round prop. Next fight, we got the flyweight women's division. We got Luana Carolina going up against Lucy Pudilova. Interesting fight. Luana Carolina she's beaten some good fighters. She's a 2-time Muay Thai champ. She actually beat Lupe Godinez, and she has really good takedown defense. She got KO'd by Molly McCann, but she walked right into a spinning back elbow, I think, in that one. Lucy Pudilova, she's on a 2-fight losing streak. She's a jiu-jitsu purple belt. She does have good takedowns, though, and she has a good ground game, and her boxing's okay. Cardio's okay, too. So it's going to be interesting. I won't go heavy on this fight, but I will take Luana Carolina in this one. I will. She's beaten the better competition, so I got to go with Carolina on this one. They're both pretty much even, so it's like an even bet. But the one thing I will go strong on, I'm betting that this fight will go over 1.5 rounds. So I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop, and I'm also going to take the over 2.5 round prop. I can see this fight going the distance. Both of these ladies are like almost decision magnets, so I'll take this fight to go the distance. I'll take both overs, over 1.5 and over 2.5. Next fight and last fight, we got the heavyweight division. Muhammad Usman going up against Thomas Peterson. Oh, boy. Muhammad Usman, his boxing's good. He's a hard puncher. He has okay ground game when he takes it to the ground. I just have an issue with his fight IQ because even when he's the better wrestler, he still doesn't take his opponent to the ground a lot, and that kind of bothers me. But His boxing should be good. He's fighting Thomas Peterson. Thomas Peterson is like a 2-time state wrestling champ when he was in college. He has good takedowns. He has a good ground game, too. His wrestling's pretty good. His boxing's rather weak, but he is a hard puncher. He has KO'd some guys in LFA. You know, most of his fights in LFA didn't make it out of the first round. So he has punching power. But I got to go with Usman on this one because Usman has beaten the UFC caliber competition, and Peterson has not. Peterson lost his UFC debut to Jamal Pokes. So I got to go with Muhammad Usman. And Usman is the more intense fighter. Like he really, you can see it in his eyes. He really wants to win. You know, even when he faces adversity, he really wants to win. And I'm not so sure that Peterson will be able to just take Usman down like he wishes because Usman can wrestle as well. And Usman is a big, strong dude. Man, he's big and strong. And if he keeps improving his striking, he's going to be trouble. So I'm going to lean Muhammad Usman on this one, and I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight will start the second round, and I'm also take the other prop bet that the fight will start the third round. And that's pretty much all the predictions for this fight card. Now, folks, like I always tell y'all, try to stick to 2-pick parlays, no more than 3-pick parlays. All your wild parlays, your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-pick parlays, you can bet a little less on those because you're going to stand to get a good payout on those. But most of my heavy money, I won't tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I do. Most of my heavy money goes on 2-pick parlays, which have a much higher percentage of hitting, and 3-pick parlays, which have a good percentage of hitting. But when you start adding more and more legs to the parlay, I know the payout looks great, but you got to keep in mind, even though the payout looks great, it's a reason why it looks great. It's hard to hit, and it's hard to hit a 6, 7-pick parlay. And then with UFC judges, that make it even tougher because sometimes you get robbed. So I try to put the bulk of my money on 2-pick parlays, 3-pick parlays. And then if I want to do some of those wild, crazy parlays, I'll do them sometime, but I don't put much on them. So I don't risk losing a whole lot. But if I hit for a whole lot. So that's the predictions. Good luck this Saturday, folks.